Yeah, that feeling that you get in the pit of your stomach. You don't know if you're going to throw up or pass out right before you do something that you've never done before. And it's not that what you're doing is bad, it's just the unknown. Welcome to my channel. Ooh, boy. Well, let's just start with hi, my name's Lisa. And I'm starting this channel because I'm looking for others just like me out there that can't find anywhere else that is just like them. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of YouTube creators that I really, really like and I follow. And I look forward to their new videos coming out. But the catch is that they're all healthy, or so it appears. What I mean by that is they're not dealing with the laundry list of chronic conditions that I have found myself dealing with over the last however many years it's been just wreaking havoc in my body. So figured if I can't find a channel, I'm going to start the channel. So here I am. So there's going to be a lot of mistakes. I'm going to say far too many times. I'm going to pause and stare out of the window far too many times because directly behind the camera is this huge picture window and I live in the middle of the redwood forest. So I'm literally staring out at trees and not like the bottom where they actually meet the ground, but I'm a few I'm up a little bit higher on a mountainside, so I'm seeing like literally from about the middle of these trees up. Squirrel's view. I have a squirrel's point of view of these trees. So yeah, I stare out of the window a lot. I'm a complete and total introvert. I like to make fun of myself. I raise my eyebrows far too much when I talk and look excited when I shouldn't. See? Making fun of myself. I'm not polished. I have no clue what I'm doing. Editing this video scares the living, breathing crap out of me. So you might just kind of get a raw or a very roughly edited version of this video. But from all the creators that I currently follow, they all say that your first video is going to suck. And your second video is going to suck. And probably your first 20 videos are going to suck, but you just got to keep going. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm not an expert on anything besides the body that I walk around in every single day. And sometimes it's a little bit more of a carcass than a body, but that's enough. That's a different discussion altogether. I don't have the be-all end-all advice for anything. Not working, not driving, not content creating, that's for damn sure. I just don't, and I'm not going to pretend to. But what I can offer is a very twisted sense of humor, because, I mean, my God, what else do I have at the end of the day besides my humor? Not a whole lot, because this body is fighting itself tooth and nail. Also another discussion. We'll go there later. Authenticity. You're going to definitely get that out of me. I don't have it in me to be some fake individual or pile of crap that I'm not, because that takes energy that I don't have. And I'm not trying to waste it on being something that I'm not. So you're going to get the authentic me, the bumps, the bruises, the ouchies, the laughs, the poking fun at myself, the everything in between. That's what you're going to get. You're also going to get me peeking down at my notes occasionally because, as I mentioned before, I don't know what I'm doing. Notes help. At lesson, folks. If you don't know what you're doing, notes help. Um, things that I want to talk about eventually at some point, and hopefully this channel will be around long enough to get to some of these topics. Um, being over 50, rolling up on actually 56, if we're going to be completely honest with this whole thing. As of October 13th, 2025, I'm rolling up on 56 years old here in a few months, and it's terrifying because half the time I feel like I don't know what I'm doing in a body that doesn't want to cooperate. So trying to find that on YouTube has been a bit of a challenge too. I find a lot of videos on how to what's the word I'm looking for? This is part of my chronic thing that's going on here. How to reinvent yourself. That's what I'm looking for. I find a lot of videos on how to reinvent yourself in your 50s and your 60s and beyond. But part of the problem that I'm having is I don't even really know who the hell I am to begin with anymore at this point, with what I'm dealing with, to be able to reinvent that. So instead of reinventing something that I don't even know what I'm dealing with, I'm certainly not trying to hold on to the past and what I used to be able to do and who I used to be. So I'm just going along for the ride and throwing things to the wall and seeing what sticks, so to speak. I love to garden. I'm gluten-free now because of some of the chronic conditions that I deal with. So I've had to learn how to bake some old family favorite recipes gluten-free, and that's been a twist because I'm sorry, just because it says it's a one-to-one flour replacement, nope, nope. There's other things that need to happen for it to actually work. So I've had to play with that. I juggle work with going to a lot of doctor's appointments. A lot. And I mean multiples a month. A lot. But that's okay, because, you know, in the words of Monty Python, I'm not dead yet. I love to travel, but I didn't really start traveling until I was 51, and that was only because I had an ischemic stroke at 50, and I decided that I actually survived that shit. I'm going on vacation. So I did. I called it a stroke anniversary trip, and I went to Hawaii. That's actually where that turtle picture was taken, right there. It's one of my favorite pictures ever that I've done. Which brings me to stroke anniversary trip number 2, and number 3, and number 4, and number 5 is coming up. And on every one of these trips, what I did here with this, that's what I focus on, is photography. Photography is always what brought me joy when I was a kid and when I was a teenager and when my kids were growing up. And so after having my ischemic stroke, that was one of the ways that I got my brain really functioning and thinking and processing and rehabilitating myself, because I didn't have to walk around. I didn't have to go anywhere. I could just go out to my property. I live in the forest. You could literally sit still for hours and have dozens of different pictures. Anyways, I digress. Um, I'm just looking for some sort of camaraderie in a sea of YouTube videos where I have found some, but I'm honestly, I'm looking for the Sjogren's community, the chronic pain community, the community that you've got some sort of chronic illness, but you're taking it with humor. I want the humor. Give me the humor. Humor. Chef's kiss. Mwah, to the humor. That's what gets me through. I'm not going to sit here and, oh, poor me, and oh, I did this, and oh, don't get me wrong. Things hurt. I've had days where I'm just a Oh, let's see. How should I describe this? Bundle of fun. There's days where I wake up and I feel like I slept with an electric cactus that beat the crap out of me before I crawled out of bed. There's days where I'd like to unzip my carcass and set it on fire and tap dance on the ashes because it would feel much better. There's days where it feels like there's little gremlins in my body riding acid covered lightning bolts, carrying shards of glass, trying to slash their way out. And they can't quite find an exit because they can't quite cut deep enough. And I'm still trying to find the humor. So work with me. Let's find some humor together. And you know what? Even if you're not dealing with that, if you just want to laugh at somebody, I'm good with that. Bring me humor. I don't care what form it's in. Let's go. So, in the end, I want to know what makes you tick. What brings humor into your life? And if you're dealing with any sort of chronic condition or chronic pain or disability or illness, or you're just tired, what do you do for you that still sparks something? Something positive. Let me rephrase that. Something positive. And I don't care if it's playing video games or baking or working on a car or building with Legos. I friggin' love Legos. Those things are so ridiculously cool, and I don't have to leave my bed to do anything with a Lego. I can sit there and build and build and build and feel like crap, and it's okay. So, what do you like to do? What brings you joy? What makes you laugh? I want to hear about it. Give it to me in the comments. What do you want to talk about? Because let's make this a channel for us to commune with each other and to talk about things that you're looking for but you can't really find on YouTube. Let me know. Let's do this together, and hopefully it's not too terribly painful for the first, I don't know, 20 or so sucky videos that get put out there. So thank you very much. Appreciate your time, and hang out because there's an outtake at the very, very end of this thing that I've actually had for a long time in my reels just to have somewhere to use it because it cracks me up. And it relates to getting old. Not necessarily chronic illness, but things that happen to our bodies as we get older. I hope you come back next time. Take care. And if you want to talk about anything, let me know. And we'll see what this channel turns into. Have a good one, guys. So I reached down to pet the cat. There's the cat. And I noticed wrinkles in places that have never had wrinkles. I reach down, and there's wrinkles right here. And I'm like, what the hell is this? And then I realize that's just flapping in the wind like a flag on a bad day. What on God's green earth has happened to my body? I don't... Yeah. I used to have muscle structure. I was a dancer for over 20 years. That makes me sad. Even when I do this, it's still floppy. What the hell? What the hell?